Welcome back to my channel. Glad you could join me. I want to pose a question to you. What would you do if you're on your way to a photography destination on the weekend? Let's say you're going out for a sunset and you're on your way between your home and your destination. On the way there, you see the clouds just change and you're thinking like, wow, I should just stop here. I should stop and take a photo, because Mother Nature is very fickle. Sometimes you can end up with that great sunset, but what happens if your sunset turns out to be a fizzer? You would have missed that opportunity. The reason I'm asking you this is because this has happened to me so many times, and the last time this happened to me was just a couple of days ago. Now it takes me about 45 minutes to get from my place to Cedar Creek to the destination where I was wanting. On the way, I have to pass Lake Samson Vale. Now at the moment in southeast Queensland, we're getting a lot of rain. And a couple of days ago, it had been raining on and off during the night. We had some quite heavy rain. And when I left home, it was very overcast. And this is why I went there, because I said, like, it's perfect weather, overcast, so I can actually take some nice photos during the day. But as I got to Lake Samson Vale, I looked out over the lake because the road goes beside the lake, and there was some beautiful clouds in the sky. What really grabbed my attention, there was some low cloud just above the horizon, and they were just rolling between the horizon and the mountains, blocking the mountains out. So I kept driving and I'm thinking to myself, I should stop, take some photos, because you don't know what's going to happen at your destination. So I stopped, did a U-turn, came back, parked the car, just grabbed my camera. I grabbed my Nikon D500 with the Nikon 18-140, walked to the edge of the lake, and I took a few nice shots. And you can see the vista that I saw in this panoramic image. And the clouds were just coming in and out. I quickly took just 4 photos over the space of about 3-4 minutes. And then I could see the clouds were just coming down nearly to the horizon. So I said, yep, okay, I've got my shots. Walked back to the car, put the camera back in my backpack, and as I backed out from the car park, I looked across and it was a whiteout. The mountains weren't there anymore. I was just so thankful that I got a couple of great shots. Let's take a look at a couple of these cloud photos that I took at Lake Samson Vale. So this is the first shot that I took. Now all these photos were taken at f11 with various shutter speeds, various ISO settings. The ISO and the shutter speed are really irrelevant, because if you went there on another day, you might use a different shutter speed or a different ISO depending on the light. But the important factor was it was f11. I wanted as much depth of field as possible. So I'm zoomed out between 60 and 90 mils to take these shots. Now this first shot here was slightly underexposed, but it gave me a feel. As soon as I took it, I looked and go, that's it, that's what I want. I readjusted my settings and I took this shot here, and look at the clouds. Now can you see that I've composed my image properly? In front of here, there's actually a rest area and there's quite a bit of distance. There's around like half a kilometer between the first set of trees and the second set of trees. It doesn't look like that, but there is quite a bit of separation. And then from the second set of trees here to the back, there's at least a kilometer. And then from the last green trees to the mountains, you're talking like 10, 15 kilometers. You can see the mountains are blue. And I like the separation. It's like a staged area. You're going 1, 2, 3, and it slowly goes off into the distance. Now remember, these are just JPEGs straight off the camera. The last image I'll show you is the raw image edited in Adobe Lightroom. This next one here, I zoomed into 90 mils. I just want to see if it was going to look good. And I looked and like, no, I'm zoomed in too much. All I see is just green trees, the mountain. There was nothing really in the front to grab my attention. So I zoomed out a little bit more, moved to the left, but you can see there's nothing in the foreground here to catch your eye. So I went back to my original composition, this one here. I really liked it, and this is the raw image edited in Adobe Lightroom. Look at the amount of detail that I was able to bring out in Adobe Lightroom. Can you see what I was meaning about the cloud structure? And I like the separation. I like that there's very bright greens, darker greens, and then it leads off into the blue. After this, drove along for another half hour, and I'm only about maybe 5-7 minutes from my destination. And I looked to my left, and there's this tree just in a paddock. And it looks so nice with a wooden fence behind it. I think like, I can't pass up this opportunity. Nothing's going to happen at the creek. I can be 5-10 minutes late. don't need a tripod, so I just grabbed my camera again, walked out, and here I will show you that I took a couple of different photos in a couple of different positions because I had something in mind. And this is something that you've got to pay attention to also, that yes, you're on your way to a destination, but if you're going to stop, then stop for a cause. Take your time and get a great composition. Now this is the tree that I saw in the paddock. You could see what grabbed my attention. Look at the tree, because it's not uniform. It's all sort of leaning to one side and it's got character. This is where I stopped my car and I just shot straight back. You can see this house in the background. I looked and like, okay, I just took this snapshot just to see what the tree looked like on camera. And I go like, this has got potential. But look at the background, it's so busy. What did I do? I started walking to the left. The reason I walked to the left, I will show you now, is because to the right of this tree, it was clear. There was no houses and all that. So this is the next shot that I took. Can you see the fence behind it? It looks really nice. But look behind this tree. Can you see there's another big gum tree behind it? There's no separation. Like, I can't really sort of see too much of that tree because this big gum tree is behind it. So I just kept walking to the left again to get more separation. And I got this image, but there's still no separation. Look, right behind this tree here, there's just grass. It's just a green hill. It's just, the tree is just blending into that. Does it look impressive? No, it doesn't. It's just another snapshot. So I say, okay, I've got to walk a little bit further. I walked another like 10, 15 meters. And this is my final shot that I took. Can you see now, with all the darker trees in the background, that this tree now really has separation? There's a bit of grass on the left there, but this is as far to the left as I could walk, because after that there was another clump of trees. It's private property. It would have been great if I could have walked on there, but it had a sign. Private property, no trespassing, so I just took it from the side of the road. I've used the rules of thirds, framed the image carefully, and this is what that image looks like, edited in Adobe Lightroom. There's some nice separation. It looks really nice. Just something on the side of the road. The whole aim of this video is just to show you that sometimes when we're on a trip from A to B, and I'm not talking about being on holidays and all that, I'm just talking about if you're going like from your home to a location, if you see something nice on the side of the road, then stop. You never know what will happen at the end. The reason I'm glad that I took these photos is because when I got to my destination at Cedar Creek, I walked for about 20 odd minutes up the creek looking for these swimming holes and looking for this big tree that I'd been told about that was very photogenic. But after walking 20 minutes and my health not being 100%, I had to stop. I wasn't feeling good, so I just turned around and came back to the car. Now I did take some other photos, but I didn't get what I wanted, and it would have been very disheartening for me if I hadn't come home with a couple of really nice images. And I'm glad that I took the time of stopping. How long did I actually stop for? Well, at the lake, I think I stopped there for about 6-7 minutes, and here about the same time, about 5 minutes. And I walked away with at least 2 really nice images, not counting the panorama. If you've enjoyed the video, give me a big thumbs up. I'd appreciate if you subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm nearly at the 3,000 mark. It would be great to hit 3,000 before Christmas. Stay safe, enjoy your photography, and I'll see you next time.